conservatives being horrible and awful. I really wanted to watch this video. It looked like a banger. Why do Republican women look like that? And the caption says, plastic surgery has taken over the GOP. Today's video is a deep dive into the aesthetic choices of conservative/Republican women. Ultimately, I set out to answer the question, why do they look like that?
On May 16th, 2024, C-SPAN went World Star. During an already heated House Oversight Committee hearing, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, a Republican congresswoman from Georgia, responded to a question from Representative Jasmine Crockett, a Democratic congresswoman from Texas, by saying,
I think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
Representative AOC of New York jumped in and requested to strike Greene's words and make her apologize, as the remarks violated decorum and were a personal disparagement of Representative Crockett.
That is absolutely unacceptable. How dare you attack the physical appearance of another person?
Are your feelings hurt?
Her words down.
Aw.
Oh, girl, baby girl.
Oh, really?
Don't even play.
After some back and forth, Marjorie Taylor Greene eventually agreed to strike her statement towards Crockett, but refused to apologize. Despite demands from Democrats to force Marjorie Taylor Greene to apologize, James Comer, the chairman of the committee, ruled that Greene's insult of Crockett did not violate House rules against engaging in personalities during debate. Naturally, Representative
Dude, she's giving the actress from The Bear.
Jasmine Crockett asked Comer for clarification to understand his ruling about what defines a personal attack.
I'm just curious, just to better understand your ruling, if someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
Raskin's face.
What now?
Chairman, I make a motion to strike those words.
I don't think that's...
Bro, she ate so hard. She ate so hard. She ate. Oh my God, dude.
Hold on.
I'm trying to find clarification on what quality.
Chairman, motion to strike
I had no
those
idea
words.
what you just said.
It was the clapback that shook the halls of Congress and soon the internet.
I'm just curious, just to better understand your ruling, if someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, bleach blonde, bad built butch body.
Oh, what now?
Bleach blonde, bad built butch body, baby girl.
In a matter of days, Crockett's words went viral. It spawned remixes, merch, and even an SNL parody, as well as a number of media appearances. While the clapback was funny and witty, it resonated because it was true, and nothing is worse than someone telling you exactly who you are. What stood out to me about this showdown was the fact that it began because a conservative, far-right Republican woman insulted a liberal Democratic woman for her display of femininity, long, false eyelashes. Historically, conservative critiques of liberal women's appearances involve targeting their looks due to a perceived lack of traditional femininity.
Look, I gotta say this, and I know someone's gonna probably troll me on this, but liberal women tend to be some of the ugliest women I've ever seen. And I'm serious. I mean, zero makeup.
Well,
they take no pride in their. Well, they want to be men. They take no pride in their dress, their attire, their makeup, their haircut. Half of them look like men.
For context, the man speaking in this clip is the boyfriend of Marjorie Taylor Greene. The man speaking in that clip is the boyfriend of Marjorie Taylor Greene. That's all I'm gonna say. Representative Jasmine Crockett is a traditionally feminine presenting woman. She's got a face full of makeup, false eyelashes, long hair, and isn't afraid to wear pink. Her aesthetic aligns with conventional markers of femininity. So, why did Marjorie Taylor Greene make a derogatory comment about her appearance? First and foremost, Greene is a known instigator and bully, but there's some subtext. Conservatives tend to have essentialist views on gender, so they believe femininity is inherent to a woman, and this translates into the feminine aesthetic they idealize, an aesthetic in which a woman's femininity should be apparent but never distracting. And that's where, in the mind of Marjorie Taylor Greene, Jasmine Crockett went wrong. Her lashes were apparently too much. In my opinion, it looked fine. It fit in with her face. It didn't look like she was wearing Furbies on her eyelids. Like, it just looked like she was doing a full beat. Looked appropriate to me. But traditionally feminine aesthetics are as much about whiteness as they are about womanness. So these people will always find something deviant about a black woman's performance of femininity. When a white woman does it, it's trendy and cool. When a black woman does it, it's unacceptable and ghetto. Hence, Green was quick to insult Crockett's appearance when she had never commented on the appearance of other colleagues. For example, Representative Lauren Boebert, a Republican congresswoman from Colorado, has feuded with Green in the past. She wears makeup, clip-in hair extensions, and lashes, but Green never used those physical embellishments as a point of attack. Why is that? 1, racism, but 2, Republican women kind of just look like that, which is what I want to explore in today's video. And here's why. After the election, my TikTok For You page was full of people pointing out that many prominent influencers had been awfully quiet after.
I'm going to say I saw a tweet. Manly, thank you for the prime. I saw a tweet that said something like, in reference to a photo of Sabrina Carpenter, it said, this is what beautiful white women used to look like before they started trying to look black. And that was the most accurate tweet I have ever seen in my life. Because I have to say, it's so, oh man, dude, oh. The Ariana Grandes of the world, it's just, the Kim K's of the world. Or rather, the Kylie Jenners of the world. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god.
After Trump's victory.
Speaking as an influencer, a lot of your favorite influencers are fucking embarrassing and fucking pathetic. To be a woman in America with a huge fucking platform and a huge audience and post nothing yesterday.
People were disappointed that their favorite female influencers seemed indifferent about the results of an election where women's rights to bodily autonomy were on the line. Or worse, they voted for the person who has been actively taking those rights away. While some were shocked and upset that these women with huge platforms didn't speak up, many were equally disappointed, but they weren't surprised.
I'm not a great judge of character. I wasn't following Trump supporters. The amount of people I'm seeing being like, I had to unfollow so many people. What? You mean you can't see it in their eyes? The windows to their desolate abyss of a brain? They have a face and racist hair. I am so unsurprised whenever I hear that these influencers voted for. I already knew that. I already knew.
And listen, I'm not.
I am shocked. My favorite influencer is a Trump supporter. The influencer in question is that one cursed Miley Cyrus photo. But like with saturated yellow hair and saturated blue eyes.
Listen, I'm not trying to drag people's appearances for no reason, but this has to be studied because there is a certain Republican look.
How right-wing people always love to hammer home the whole blue hair feminist stereotype. All of you bitches look the same. Really, all of you bitches look the same. You have the same bad bleach job, micro-link extensions hanging out the back of your head, and the perhaps worst spray tan I've seen in my entire 22 years on Earth.
Why do so many of them get like the nasty spray tan? That's the one that I don't understand the most. I've never understood the like bleaching your hair because you need to have the Aryan Blonde 064 shade to the point where your hair can't handle it and it fucking starts falling out. So you have to add these fucking bleach blonde hair extensions that look like shit. That one I've never understood either. Like, I'm sorry. Here's the reality. Here's the truth, okay? Not everyone is treated equally, follically speaking, okay? Some people are luckier than others. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. and it must be said. He's bald. I love this Northern Lion emo. Okay? And it's about realizing what you got and working around it. All right? Okay? All right? And if you're follically challenged, especially if you're follically challenged as a woman, and your hair is kind of thin, and it doesn't grow very fast, and it's very porous, and bleaching it will significantly damage it, maybe you shouldn't do that. Okay? Maybe. You play towards your strengths. All right? Fraser, thank you so much for the Prime. Thank you. Thanks. I've never understood why so many conservative women insist on having blonde hair, even in instances where it would destroy their hair to maintain the blonde. Talking about me again. Nesua. No, Nesua. No. I'm only talking about you when I post this. This is the only time I'm talking about you. Get on League. Get on League now. Okay? Get on League. We have to run it down bot. We have to run it down bot now. Oh gosh. Anyways. Like, I'm sorry. I'm gonna be honest. Marjorie, you need to stop bleach blonding your hair. It's not good. Your hair doesn't have the strength. You're cooking your hair. You're cooking it. Stop. Stop frying your hair. You're not going to have anything left. It's all going to fall out. Stop cooking it. Stop. And the other thing, this one I understand even less. Why the spray tan? Why the nasty spray tan? She looks like Asmongold in this. She does, dude. Stop. That's white culture. Leave her alone. I'm ready to end. Why does she look like the Cynthia doll from Rugrats? Oh, man. Anyways, back to the video.
And also, none of you can do makeup to save your fucking life. Is that a requirement to be a Republican?
Straight up, Lauren Boebert, I've said it since day one. Why does she Sharpie her eyebrows? Why does she Sharpie them on? We have the technology that you don't need to Sharpie your eyebrows on anymore, girl. You don't need to. We have microblading now. We have the technology. I'm trying to find a picture where they aren't covered by her glasses. Like, these are demons, people. These are demons. What are you doing? What is happening? I am begging you to learn any makeup. Any at all, dude.
Republican, I'm literally just asking.
Boebert has to do her 14-year-old girl makeup or else her husband won't be into her.
Why do they all look like that? Of course, this is a generalization. Not every Republican woman looks the same, but the prominent ones tend to favor this aesthetic, which includes long layered hair,
Canadian Garrett, welcome back. Joel, thank you for the gifts. Thanks.
Orange spray tan, noticeable plastic surgery, and heavy-handed makeup. Conservative ideology emphasizes traditional gender roles with expectations that women embody a specific version of femininity tied to domesticity and softness. But in recent years, it seems like Republican women are straying from this ideal. So for example, Marjorie Taylor Greene's assertive demeanor and combative rhetoric, even her muscular physique, seem at odds with these values. This apparent contradiction illustrates a broader evolution in conservative politics. Green embodies a form of what some scholars call conservative feminism, where women assert power without adhering to traditional ideals of female passivity or submissiveness. It shows that conservatism, even while promoting traditional values, can accommodate and elevate women who break gender norms in pursuit of influence. In this pursuit of influence, they are sacrificing the soft disposition that conservatives value in their women. So it seems like they try to overcompensate for that lack of femininity in their physical appearance. So in today's video, I want to explore the Republican.
And my favorite part about the Conservative Party, I guess, is the cope that liberal women look ugly. Like, they need to keep telling themselves that. Like, to stomach the fact that this is what their people look like. This is what the conservative women look like. Joel, thank you so much for the 10 gift subs. Thank you. And the worst part about it, too, is like, all of these are active decisions. Like, Lauren Boebert is not ugly. She does a bunch of things almost like to make herself look ugly. Like, the spray tan. Why? It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. The Sharpie eyebrows. Why? It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. The fucking box, the black box dye. It doesn't look good. Why? Why do it? Why? I don't understand. I just don't understand.
Woman aesthetic and why prominent Republican women present themselves in certain ways that both reflect and contradict conservative ideals of femininity. The idealization and the performance of femininity is something that is sort of endlessly interesting to me, so that's why I want to talk about this topic. Like I mentioned earlier, conservative ideology promotes traditional gender roles that are rooted in an essentialist view of gender, which assumes that men and women have distinct innate qualities suited to different roles in society. These roles are often framed as natural or divinely ordained. For women, this comes with expectations of modesty, domesticity, and softness. Conservative ideals often promote the idea that women should dress and behave modestly to convey respectability and femininity. Outfits should be polished but not too revealing, and the same goes for demeanor. Women are encouraged to be polite and not overly assertive, which is seen as unladylike. Women are expected to embody traits like kindness, gentleness, and emotional warmth. This goes hand in hand with the belief that women are naturally more nurturing than men, making them perfectly suited for caregiving roles. The ideal conservative woman isn't just a homemaker, she's also a source of emotional support and moral guidance for her family. There's also a big emphasis on women as the heart of the home. The ideal conservative woman is often portrayed as a dedicated wife and mother, putting her family's needs above her own. Careers and ambitions outside the home are fine, but they are often framed as secondary to family responsibilities. A lot of these ideals come from the Bible, where men and women are seen as having God-given roles that complement each other. In Christianity, women are often encouraged to submit to their husbands, while men are expected to lead. On top of that, there's this nostalgic appeal to a past where traditional families were seen as the backbone of society. In conservative thought, sticking to these roles helps preserve stability and order. Fun fact, that is why there is no universal childcare. Reagan didn't want that because he felt like it would make the US a communist state and erode the nuclear family. Ironically, many prominent conservative women in politics and media don't fully fit this mold. They're loud, assertive, and often combative.
Don't let the Democrats take you for granted. Don't let them step on you.
Okay. Whatever that means.
Yet they still lean into traditional feminine aesthetics, polished hair, makeup, dresses, to maintain an outward appearance of adhering to these ideals. This creates a bit of a paradox. Conservative women in leadership often borrow traits traditionally associated with masculinity to thrive in male-dominated spaces. but they attempt to balance it by presenting themselves in a way that aligns with conservative expectations of femininity. And sometimes it's pretty damn weird. Look no farther than Republican Congresswoman Katie Britt's speech in response to Joe Biden's State of the Union.
Good evening, America. My name is Katie Britt, and I have the honor of serving the people of the great state of
Dude, is anyone else getting Get Out vibes?
Alabama and the United States Senate. However, that's not the job that matters most. I am a proud wife and mom of 2 school-aged kids. My daughter Bennett and my son Ridgway are why I ran.
Fucking stupid ass names. I'm sorry.
For the Senate.
I'm
worried
I'm sorry.
about their future.
Ridgway? Ridgway? That's what you named your son? Ridgway? Bennett and Ridgway? Your daughter Bennett and your son Ridgway? Christ.
And the future of children in every corner of our nation. President Biden just doesn't get it. He's out of
Angela
touch.
Davis talks a lot about this in women, race, class, and how women belong in the house. Caring for the family stuff wasn't around until the Industrial Revolution took away jobs that women did. Candle making, textiles, etc. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for the history lesson. Okay, guys, thank you for the 5 months. Also, hi, Salty Sandals. She scares me so much. I feel like there's body parts in her fridge or something. Dude, she gives me this, like, uncanny valley, dude. I'm scared. Mom, come get me. I'm scared.
His administration, families are worse off. Our communities are less safe. And our country is less...
Dude, she has, like, this, like, soul-sucking stare.
Less secure.
Why are watching hostage
The country
videos?
we
LUL.
know and love seems to be slipping away. And it feels like the next generation will have fewer opportunities.
It's like she remembered. She's like, oh, yeah, I have to blink like a human being. See? I'm blinking like people do. Legendary super lesbian. Thank you for the gift sub.
And less freedoms than we did. This is the United States of America. And it is past time, in my opinion, that we start acting like it.
Oh my God.
Meanwhile,
oh my
the
God.
Chinese Communist Party is undercutting America's workers. China is buying up our farmland, spying on our military installations, and spreading propaganda through the likes of TikTok. You see, the CCP knows that if it conquers the minds of our next generation, it conquers America.
As one commentator put it, this video feels like a Black Mirror episode, and I couldn't agree more. It's like she's being held hostage in a staged IKEA kitchen, and if she doesn't read this message, she'll get kicked off the board of her HOA. It's also insane to hear a well-off politician whose husband is a former NFL player talk about how she's scared for her children's futures because they'll have less opportunities. Yes, because children of politicians and athletes famously struggle to find opportunities. The whole thing reeks of pandering. She's trying way too hard to come across as this empathetic, concerned parent who's just like the rest of you. I shop at Walmart and drive the kids to soccer practice in my Cybertruck. And listen, I know it's not easy to come across as natural when you're reading off a teleprompter. I know that because I'm reading off a teleprompter right now. But the awkwardness in this video can't just be attributed to a teleprompter. It truly feels like Katie Britt is trying to come across as someone she is not. A regular, middle-class mother. It makes sense that she's trying to lean into this character because Americans are much more receptive to mother candidates rather than their childless peers. As we've seen, ultimately, Britt came across as trying way too hard. Like, even the names of her
They skipped the part where she looks like she's gonna laugh while graphically describing sexual assault. Excellent. Good normal behavior from normal people.
children sounded fake.
Hi, Dembo. May we have Wormy on this Thanksgiving Day? Maybe we will have a Wormy appearance.
May we have a Wormy on this
My
Thanksgiving
daughter
Day?
Bennett and my son Ridgway.
And if those are fake names, Thank God, Bennett and Ridgway would never be able to find a customized keychain at a theme park gift shop. The point is, this video is a good example of what it looks like when conservative women politicians try to overcompensate their femininity and softness. It starts to become uncanny. I could see a world in which a GOP staffer convinced Katie Britt to wear an apron and pat a pinch of flour on her nose to lean into that suburban mom relatability. I found a really great piece from the Columbia Political Review titled "The Fashion of GOP Politics" by Priya Shah, in which she analyzes the aesthetic of conservative women politicians. In her analysis of Katie Britt's outfit, she writes, "For female Republican politicians like Britt, their clothing selections show their ability to enact change through their office that is not too radical to engender distrust in men. Britt wore a green-colored shirt, her business casual choice, hinting at her usefulness as a politician. Her rolled-up sleeves emphasize the politician facet of the mom-politician duality, showing that she intends to do her job as a representative and should be supported. The business casual choice also indicates that Britt does not separate her motherhood from her role as a politician. Instead, the work she does for the country is an extension of the support she provides for her family. In this way, she uses her identity as a mother to legitimize her work as a politician. Britt also sported a diamond-studded cross, a testament to her religious piety. The symbol was another message to her audience that the GOP is the Christian party. Britt's kitchen setting underscored her position as a concerned Christian mother, looking out for her family and, by extension, all Americans. The kitchen helped Britt strike a balance between the two parts of this duality, as she hoped to make the GOP seem accessible to all Americans. Britt's attempt to seem professional, but not too professional, was mocked in a viral Saturday Night Live skit as Britt's melodramatic attempt to fully embody the roles of the concerned mother and determined politician was not well received. Her facade was not tenable. Since Britt is incapable of relating authentically to real mothers and Americans, she resorted to using her wardrobe to send political messages by emphasizing her traditionalism and adherence to Christian values. I think this is a great analysis of these choices, and it's a reminder that style and clothing are mediums that can communicate very important messages. The tug of war that we're sort of seeing play out on the screen in Katie Britt's video, it really seems like she's toggling between anger, rage, passion, and she's trying to cover it up with this like sugary sweet, syrupy smile and like, I'm just a mom. Anyway, this leads me to the next part of the video, the conservative aesthetic. In 2012, researchers at UCLA found that you can actually tell if someone is a Republican by looking at them, specifically if that person is a woman. They used a computer program called Face Gen Modeler to analyze the facial features of 434 members of the U.S. House of Representatives. This software compared each face against typical gendered facial characteristics. Then they showed photos of the representatives to undergrads and asked them to guess each politician's political party. They found that Republican congresswomen had more traditionally feminine faces, so much so that their faces were rated twice as feminine as their Democratic counterparts. And the more conservatively these women voted, the more traditionally feminine their features tended to be. So yes, according to research, sometimes you can actually judge a book by its cover. On the other hand, men's faces showed less connection to traditional gender traits. Male Republicans had less masculine-looking faces than male Democrats. But the more feminine a woman's face appeared, the more likely the students were to guess she was a Republican. And they were right 98% of the time. Conversely, the students
I gotta hear that again.
Feminine a woman's face appeared, faces, traditional gender traits. Male Republicans had less masculine-looking faces than male Democrats. But the more feminine a woman's face appeared, the more likely the students were to guess she was a Republican. and they were right 98% of the time. Conversely, the students were far less likely to think a highly feminine-looking woman was a Democrat. Feminine looking does not equal empirically beautiful. While feminine looking faces are favored in our beauty standard, it is not based on science rather than socialization. And I don't really like the idea of measuring people's beauty, but if you are going to do that, clinical beauty, so to speak, is based less on specific feminine features and more about having a face that is equally balanced. Think the golden ratio. The researchers believe that because conservative ideology promotes
So Republicans are actually the soy ones? Wait a minute.
traditional gender roles, Republican women may feel or be pressured to align their appearance with these expectations. This wasn't the case for men because politics has historically been a male-dominated field, automatically granting men a certain level of perceived masculinity regardless of party. Essentially, male Republicans don't need to look the part the same way that female Republicans do. One of the study's authors, Carrie Johnson, pointed out a bigger issue. Society tends to view competency and femininity as incompatible in women. This puts Republican women in a tough spot. They're expected to project both traditional femininity and political competence, two traits that are often seen as contradictory. In the end, this study highlights not just how we perceive political figures, but also the complicated role gender plays in shaping political identity and public expectations. For Republican women, navigating this landscape means walking a fine line between being traditionally feminine and being taken seriously. Women in politics have had to deal with this forever, but it's become much more pronounced for Republicans ever since Donald Trump took a hold of the party. This man clearly has a type, and it's beauty queen. As a former owner of the Miss Universe organization, Trump's aesthetic preferences align closely with the polished, larger-than-life beauty associated with pageant contestants. Think spray tan skin, hair extensions, false eyelashes, heavy makeup, and for the women who dare show signs of aging, perhaps Botox, filler, or even a facelift. Look at the women in Trump's inner circle. His daughter, wife, and daughter-in-law all seem to fit this aesthetic. It's no surprise that female politicians who are trying to curry Trump's favor and fit in with the MAGA crowd not only change their rhetoric and beliefs.
This is also why being a conservative is so fucking easy, because they're just aesthetics above all, and as long as you meet the criteria for aesthetics, you did it. That's it. Congrats. It's also why attractive, like conventionally attractive people on the left make conservatives' brains break. And it's because usually, I mean, you have to understand, to be a conservative, you have to be a little dumb. All right, let's just be real. You either have to be bigoted or you have to be a little dumb. Or fuck it, why not both? And when they are forced to come up with an insult that isn't blue hair, lol, there's nothing left. It's the same reason why people don't know what to do when they fucking talk to, like, Hassan. Like, I mean, you guys saw the interaction that he had with Andrew Tate, where Andrew Tate's trying to, like, insult him and insult how he looks, and he's failing horribly. Or better yet, do you guys remember Dr. Disrespect trying to insult Hassan? He's like, yo, you fat, lol, you fat fan base, lol. It's like, that's the best you can come up with. What? You fat phony. Yeah. Or even like myself. Like literally the insults that conservatives throw at me, they don't even know what the fuck to say. So they're like, yeah, well, your tits. Fucking got him, am I right? It's like, what? You have to come up with an insult that isn't ugly blue hair, and this is what you can do? This is the best you can do. Man, this is embarrassing. You should be embarrassed. Jesus. Thank you for the prime. Thanks. Just get better insults, man. Damn. Christ, it's not a good insult. It's really not.
But their physical appearance. Exhibit A, South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem. Noem began her political career in 2010 as a congresswoman. She had a short layered bob reminiscent of Jennifer Aniston's Friends haircut. By 2016, when Trump was elected president, Noem started to shapeshift into his preferred aesthetic. Vanessa Friedman of the New York Times put it like this. Her hair got longer and longer with tousled waves kissed by the curling iron. Her part moved to the center. She began to resemble a doppelganger for Kimberly Guilfoyle, Donald Trump Jr.'s fiancée, or a dark-haired version of Laura Trump, Eric Trump's wife and the new co-chair of the Republican National Committee. Even Miss Noem's clothes changed from the khaki shirt dress she wore to CPAC in 2011 to the bright blue sheath she chose for her State of the State address this year. There's no better example of her transformation than the cover on her new book, No Going Back, The Truth of What's Wrong with Politics and How We Move America Forward, which features a portrait of Miss Noem with lips glossed, eyelashes thick, and one hand seemingly playing with her wavy locks as she sits in her desk chair in a blazer and dress before the American
stream in a man's world looking that good, you liberal blue hair. Please link OnlyFans.
True.
American flag. The cherry on top, this year, Noem got veneers and apparently a sponsorship from a cosmetic dentistry in Texas.
Well, hi, I'm Kristi Noem. I'm the governor of South Dakota and had the opportunity to come to Smile, Texas to fix my teeth, which has been absolutely amazing.
Okay, can I say something? Can I say something? This is mental illness. This is mental illness. The trend of people with teeth that are fine, that have straight white teeth, like, yeah, are they like a little, dare I say, bone colored? I know, shocking. Your bones are bone colored. And then changing them so that they're whiter and straighter and more like they're perfect. It's what the hell? I've always thought this is weird. I've thought this is so fucking weird. Like, okay, my lighting is very yellow, so my teeth look very yellow right now. But like, are my teeth the whitest they could be? No. Are they the straightest they could be? No. Would I get veneers? No. That seems insane. Let me see. They're a little less than white. I mean, they're bone colored. Right? they're bone colored. Like, it's mental illness. It would be mental illness if I went and got veneers. You guys agree, right? I don't understand why people do it. I don't get it. I don't understand.
Smilers.
Don't veneers ruin your real teeth? I mean, it depends on the veneers you get, but usually, yes. Usually what they do is like they shave your teeth down to like little nubs and then they put in your veneers. There are some veneers that don't do that and instead they build on your current teeth, which if you're gonna get the veneer, please fucking don't grind them down to the little nub. That's terrifying. And I can understand like getting teeth whitening. That makes sense. Sure. But these understand this. Like, your teeth are fine. These are nice teeth. And you're like, no, they have to be whiter. They have to be straighter. This is so weird. It's so weird. It's so weird. Oh. They have to glow in the dark. It's like, what the fuck?
absolutely amazing.
It's unsurprising that after her transformation, she's been brought farther into the MAGA fold. This is how Trump introduced her at a campaign rally.
We have a very special woman who's hot as a politician. She's doing an incredible job in South Dakota. She's the governor, Kristi Noem.
And he closed it out by saying this.
And you're not allowed to say it, so I will not. You know, you're not allowed to say she's beautiful, so I'm not going to say that. I will not say it, because that's the end of your political career if you make...
Yes. Calling someone beautiful could end your political career, but somehow being a convicted felon won't. Kristi Noem's physical transformation sends a very clear message. She wants a seat at the MAGA table, and as a woman, when it comes to getting Trump's attention, your best bet is to simply look like his type. But there's a catch-22. You have to look a certain way to be noticed by Trump, but if you look like that, he might view you as a prop. Rebecca Traister of New York Magazine writes, "When your value is tied inextricably to sexualized standards contrived by white men, you will not be appreciated, sometimes not even seen, unless you meet those standards. Yet, if you do hit their often shifting aesthetic marks, you risk being degraded by those same men, not taken seriously as their peers, but rather understood as their ornament." Not every prominent woman in the MAGA fold looks like a yassified Snapchat filter. Yet. There's Usha Vance, future second lady, who looks distinctly out of place in Trump's female inner circle. Her makeup, if any, is extremely light and natural, her hair stops at her shoulders, and she even has some grays. She doesn't wear much jewelry, her wardrobe choices are modest and muted. In other words, she looks weirdly like herself. This is not the norm. Dramatic makeovers and MAGA go hand in hand. I'm very curious to see if Usha Vance will transform over the next few years. The VP's office is pretty ceremonial, but even Mike Pence's wife, Karen, got a little bibbidi-bobbidi-boo during her time as the second lady. Okay, I want to close out this video with some final thoughts. I learned a lot from researching this video. I learned that elected officials could be influencers. I learned that Kimberly Guilfoyle used to be married to Gavin Newsom. I learned that the most effective B words are bleach blonde, bad built, butch body. But most importantly, I learned that prominent Republican women are going through an identity crisis. Prominent conservative women often struggle to fully address the complexities of their gender in public life. While they outwardly embrace traditional femininity through their appearance and alignment with conservative values, they don't always confront the deeper contradictions of operating in a male-dominated political landscape, and specifically, a party riddled with sexism and actively working to take away women's rights. These prominent conservatives lean into gender norms that emphasize beauty and traditional roles, yet these very norms can undermine their authority and complicate their ability to be taken seriously as leaders. This failure to fully grapple with their gender creates a tension that's both visible and unresolved in how they navigate their public and political identities.
It's also important to note that the reason that Marjorie Taylor Greene made the comments that she made about Crockett, fucking Tammy Turner on the mind. The reason that she made the comments that she did is because you have to understand, in order to be a conservative, you have to be sexist. You have to hate women a little bit. It's just the way that it is. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to be the one to say it, but it's true. The reason she commented on the eyelashes is because they both feel that women need to be in this role of hyper feminine and pleasing in all regards to men, but also that they should be degraded and humiliated for it. And it's just sad. I've never understood conservative women. I've never gotten it. It's never made sense to me. I don't know if it ever, it makes sense because they just hate brown people more than they more than they want rights for themselves, which is insane. Which is crazy. I have to say, fucking crazy. Very crabs in a bucket type of thing. But I just don't get it. I just don't understand why. They want the sweet, sweet proximity to power. It's just so bizarre to me. I feel bad. I feel really bad for those women. I really do. And then I remember that they're horrible people, and I'm like, fuck, dude. My empathy is waning. It's waning. Like the what's her name? Oh, what's her name? Lauren Southerns of the world. And no, I'm not addressing those DMs. The Lauren Southerns of the world that they go on this crusade where they're launching flare guns to prevent the migrants from entering the beautiful countries of Europe. But also, like a year later, is talking about how conservative men hate conservative women. Yeah. No, the leopard's eating party. The leopard's eating faces party. It's eating my face. Oh, man. My mother-in-law thinks that way. It's just a very rigid way that they were raised in, basically brainwashed into being a trad wife. Yeah. Nancy Mace. I mean, Nancy Mace is a whole separate issue. No empathy, suffering of others is sweeter than the improvement of their own lives. I don't... And the weirdest thing about it is, like, when you put it in context, when you recognize that, like, nowhere else would we feel this way. So, like, cancer. Just because if someone had cancer, I would like to think that most people wouldn't be like, oh my God, well, I had cancer, so everybody else should suffer too, and not have this vaccine or this cure for cancer. Like, that's fucking stupid, right? But then for some reason, when it comes to human suffering on other fronts, it's like, yay, suffering, yay. I suffered through my student loans, so everybody else should suffer too. What the fuck? Unfortunately, I know some people like that. It's so sad. It's so sad, dude. American culture is so fucked. But you know what, chat? Always remember that as shit as things are outside, at least we now have the me and you emote in chat.